Are you a loader main? Yup, loader main. Can I load these nuts in your mouth? Risk of Rain 2 was released back in 2020 and it taught me three things. Time is money, money is drones, and drones. Help! Help me! They f shit up. If you don't know what Risk of Rain is, me neither. Is it a PvE or EVE or PvP? I don't know. What I know for sure that this game is absolute blast to play. You play as one of the survivors. You drop on a random planet where you fight endless waves of aliens while opening chests to get random items. And when you think you have enough loot, you can activate the teleporter, which needs to be charged by staying inside a zone. And when it's charged, you can take the portal to the next map and repeat until you can beat the final boss, or until he robs you naked and beat the cheeks out of you. Or you can loop it endlessly to see how long you can last, also known as edging. But there is a twist. The longer the run, the harder it gets. Now the real question. Artifice or Huntressy? How does Risk of Rain 2 hold up in 2026? Let me tell you friend, this game has aged like milk if you made cheese with it. During its early access, the game felt experimental. There were a handful of survivors. The game had no true ending. You just looped endlessly through stages until you died. There was no moon stage, no final boss, no dimensions. Then in August 2020, during its first release, the game got a huge glow up. 10 playable characters, with every single one of them having a different play style, abilities to master, some of them having additional abilities to unlock, items and equipments to make builds with, and a final boss, Mithrix. It was already near perfection. Fast forward to the end of 2025 and the beginning of this is definitely gonna be my year. The game has peaked. 3 DLCs, 19 survivors. In the menu you can only see 18 survivors. If you are wondering where is the 19th, well,
this is an ostrich egg. Let's go cook it up. The hardest part about eating ostrich eggs is opening them. You don't want to crack it like it's a normal egg because it's not. This one egg is equivalent to 30 normal.
Each of them have different loadout options other than Ballhead with a gigantic arm, but he has a transformation so he counts as well. More than 180 plus items, 40-ish equipments, that's potentially hundreds of builds, 25 bosses, tens of maps. Right now the game has so much content, it's gonna last as long as an unskippable YouTube ad. I'm gonna put an unskippable YouTube ad. Every single moment I have spent in this game has been a certified good time. Yes, even when I'm getting 3 bustling fungus in a row, even when Halcyonide is shoving his golden rod in me, and even when I'm waiting for enemies to spawn. I wonder what Huntress's feet would smell. All the pain and misery is part of the experience and I love every bit of it. That's what all the mentally challenged people tell themselves. Every single run in this game is different as long as you don't use Artifact of Command. Usually when you open a chest, you get a random item from a pool of 170 plus items. But with Artifact of Command, you can choose whatever item you want every single time. You can't choose the rarity, just the item. This makes the game kinda predictable. You have a guaranteed god run every single time. It's like being able to suck your own pee-pee. It might feel great, but it's kinda gay, but that's okay. What makes this game great is its randomness. When you have power to choose, you will always go for the best possible build. But when the items are randomized, you get creative with the builds. You see, the game gives you some control over your items. For example, 3D printers let you convert a random item of same rarity into the item that the printer has. There are few interactables which lets you choose between 3 random items. Multi-shops, scrappers, these things give you just enough freedom to make a build, but sometimes you will get items that have no synergy with each other. But that's what the game is. You are not supposed to be winning every single run with ease. If everything is gold, nothing is gold. This is what makes this game so great. I feel like I'm shitting on the artifact of command. This artifact is necessary for this game. Why? Well, because without it, unlocking some abilities will be harder than finding Nemo as a colorblind fish. For example, to unlock Bandit's Serrated Shiv ability, you need to stack 20 hemorrhage on a single enemy. In order to do that, you have to backstab an enemy 20 times. And his stab ability has 4-second cooldown. This challenge can be done by stacking 20 backup mags. Backup mags give you an extra charge on your secondary ability. Now without the artifact of command, you need to get incredibly lucky. Not only you need to find a 3D printer with backup mags, you need to find an enemy that can withstand it and not kill yourself in the process. This isn't even the worst one. I think Mercenary has an ability which requires you to beat Prismatic Trial without taking any damage. Absolute 8s. Calling it 8s is disrespect to 8s. At least you get laid before getting 8s, unless you didn't volunteer. 57 Leaf Clover is an item that requires completion of a challenge, the Long Road, where you have to beat 20 stages in a single run, which can take hours. Now challenges like these are way harder to do without the artifact of command. Plus it allows you to experiment between different synergies and builds, and it also makes unlocking characters a little bit easier. Survivors are easily the best part of this game. When a game is packed with characters, usually they have similar abilities or repetitive play style. But in this game, every character has a unique play style. Like, look at the difference between these two. Are they from the same game? Playing Railgunner at long range feels like playing God. You select and delete enemies from the screen. But at close range, he has one of the weakest damage, unless you can hit those sniper shots, even at close range. Loader is literally Pathfinder from Apex, but instead of running on batteries, he runs on nuclear energy. Multi, my friend calls him Stapler because he shoots stapler pins at enemies. False Sun, Mega Bonks. Mercenary dashes and slashes. Seeker throws wet balls at enemies. Has one of the best AoEs in the game. Can revive herself and a teammate. Plus, can navigate the whole map like it's creative mode. Huntress has the most unique gameplay where you just hold left click and look at the sky and hope she falls on your face. But no matter who you are, you can't be immune to being lazy. Even God was lazy when he created you. So many characters have the same godforsaken ability, which I just can't hate enough. Dashes, the ability that just moves you forward. There are definitely better ways to do mobility. I will take Railgunner's satchel over these dashes. At least it's creative. That's why I love Bandit so much. His whole kit is so well designed. Everything on his kit works like clockwork. He has a passive which makes clapping cheeks counts as crit. What I mean by that is exactly what you heard. Any attack from behind is crit. Has a shotgun for short range. Has a revolver for long range, which can either reset your cooldowns or get stronger with every kill. Has a quick melee which can be changed for long range throwable, but the best part about his kit is his smoke bomb. This ability does a lot of things, makes you invisible for a few seconds. When you use this ability, it damages nearby enemies. It also stuns enemies, gives you movement speed while you are invisible, and gives you a vertical boost while you are airborne, both when you initiate it and when you end it, and firing a gun ends the invisible state. So you can use this ability as 2 extra jumps. Also you can avoid fall damage entirely. Now compare this ability to a fucking dash. If dash is Stephen Hawking's, smoke bomb is Stephen with stockings.
God damn.
Bandit's whole kit is go up close, use shotgun, and while it's reloading, go invisible, go behind the enemy, clap cheeks, penetrate with the knife, and use revolver to one-shot the rest of them. A character so good, I will let him penetrate. Another character I want to mention is Mercenary. Things that other character can do effortlessly takes 5 times as more effort while playing Mercenary. This character requires mastery, but when you spend hours playing him and dedicate yourself to his play style, he becomes one of the most average characters in the game. He makes everything look 10 times as epic. But damn, this character is just not rewarding to play. He is fun though. Maybe he is good, maybe I just haven't played him enough. I have this problem where I try to master a character, but instead end up masturbating. The problem isn't Mercenary, it's the new characters which makes the old one look like ass. It has been a trend in most games where they power creep the old characters by releasing newer ones. But in this game it doesn't matter as much because it's a single player / co-op game and because right items can make any character busted. But it doesn't mean it doesn't matter at all. The new character Drifter has a sack so huge it can fit Halcyon Knight in it and throw him off the cliff. Something that no other character can do. His whole kit is probably the funniest shit I have ever seen in a video game. Imagine getting your ass beaten by someone's sack. Couldn't be me. I can pick my own drone and throw it onto enemies. I can pick enemies and throw it onto enemies. I can even yeet a whole golem straight back to his mother. But his mother is so goddamn huge that dragging my sack across her body doesn't bother her. In my Megabonk video, I talked about how the existence of certain items can make some characters or weapons feel less significant. But here, it's a different story. In Risk of Rain 2, items have unique synergies with different characters. For example, Crowbar is an item which allows you to deal 75% more damage to enemies above 90% health. Now, this item works really well with high damage per hit characters like Railgunner, Bandit, Loader. These characters have slow fire rate but high damaging abilities. This allows you to one-shot enemies. Now the same godly Crowbar is worthless on some characters. I should say some abilities because almost every character has something that can make use of the Crowbar. But anyway, Engineer is a good example who has bad synergy with this item. Because his main source of damage is his turrets and they have a really high fire rate, only the first few hits will deal 75% damage and then the damage falls off. Even if you use his mines, which are dog shit, chances are your turrets have already dealt some damage and now the enemies are below 90% health. I know Engineer is an overpowered character, but look at these mines, bruh. The in-game AI probably thinks I'm stupid. Tri-tip dagger, stun grenade, stinky bum, death mark. On-hit items like these are good on high fire rate characters. Speaking of items, they have 7 different rarities in this game. Every rarity of items have different power level. White items are most common and easy to stack. A lot of these gives you just flat stat increase. Green items are uncommon. They are a bit tricky to explain because the power dynamic among these items is huge. Hunter's Harpoon, for example, gives you movement speed on killing an enemy for 1 second. Wait a second. 1 second. And then there is Ukulele, Ignition Tank, ATG Missile, which can turn an average character into a good one. Red items or legendary items are the rarest and the most powerful items you can get from chests. They can single-handedly change the fate of your run. From turning the drones from Neobot to Terminators, to completely removing your skill cooldown, to lowering your FPS. These items are what you're looking for in every single run. Yellow items cannot be obtained from chests. Instead, these items may drop upon killing a teleporter boss. In terms of power level, they are similar to legendary items, but even more rare. Each yellow item represents a signature attack or characteristics of the corresponding boss. Purple or void items. Now from here things get a lot more interesting. Void items can be found in void cradles. The cost of opening these cradles is 50% of your HP. Don't worry, it's not permanent, it regenerates over time. They also spawn a few void infestors. These infestors will touch a nearby monster and it becomes a void touched monster. This is actually the term Wiki uses, void touched monster. Diddy touched kids, a monster touched my void. These items are very powerful. I mean, most of them. They also corrupt your existing items. For example, if you had a ukulele and you picked Polyloot, all of your ukuleles will become Polyloots. Most of these void items are direct upgrade to their counterparts, but of course there are exceptions. I like these items more than the legendary items because since they corrupt their counterparts, they are easy to stack. Lunar items. More like gooner items. Just like gooning, these items make you feel great, but also comes with post-goon clarity. Is bestiality banned because animals can't give consent? Or because all of them are underage? Basically, the idea is they give you a massive buff while crippling you at the same time. For example, shaped glass doubles your damage but halves your health. This is actually a balanced item. Since you are doing a lot more damage, you can kill enemies faster and you get hit less. It's a fair trade-off. But not everything is balanced as this one. Some items are so bad they are almost never worth picking up. Stone Flux Pauldron doubles your health, halves your movement speed. The way you avoid damage in this game is by moving around. Halving your speed in this game is like taking an axe to your legs, maybe between your legs.
Then you can cut sex.
If you wanna play this game on a wheelchair, be my guest.
Go fuck yourself.
Another one I dislike is egocentrism. It creates 3 orbiting bombs around you, but every 60 seconds a random item gets converted into this item. So eventually all your items will become this item. It does something that Frost Relic does better, but Frost Relic doesn't have any downside. The crazy thing is, egocentrism isn't a made-up word. It's a real thing, and it's exactly like the item in the game, thus having a fitting name. But you know what's more fitting? Osama. This item should be called Osama. Ego creates bombs, so did Osama. Converts into itself, converted people into believing his ideas. Basically the same. But there are some really good ones, like Transcendence. I call it Beetle. It converts all your HP into shield. And shields regenerate very quickly without the need of any healing or regeneration. It also negates fall damage, which is a huge part of Eclipse difficulty. It is almost always good. Brittle Crown, this one is kind of a personal pick. Gives you extra gold, but you lose gold when you take damage. This one you kinda have to manage. As soon as you get money, just spend it. That way you will never lose money. Oh my god, my intellect, it scares me. Yeah, I'm a financial advisor. There was a looped run where I stacked 10 of these. My friend was spectating me and he said, "Holy shit, 30,000 gold? What are you going to do with that?" As soon as he said that, I took one hit and it went to 0. There is an old but godly combo of 2 lunar items, Gesture of Drowned and Spinal Tonic. Gesture of Drown reduces cooldown of your equipment, but it auto-activates your equipment on cooldown, so you have no control over it. And Spinal Tonic gives you a huge stat boost, but has a chance to permanently reduce your stats by 5%. Normally, Tonic has a duration, but Gesture keeps reactivating it before it runs out, meaning the debuff never has time to trigger. So you stay permanently on steroids without shrinking your balls. Speaking of balls, how do you even obtain lunar items? There is a ball sack like chest called Lunar Pots, which requires a lunar coin to unlock. Lunar coin is the only currency which you can keep after the run ends. These coins can also be used to activate this altar. It looks less like an altar and more like a tumor. When you activate it, you get access to Bazaar Between Realms. Bazaar means market in 30 plus languages, and it is a market for Gooner items. And you can even find the Gooner Merchant. Equipments are the only active item category, meaning they work like an ability. They are very powerful but have a really long cooldown. You get these in equipment chests. You can only hold one equipment at a time, but if you find an equipment bot, it can also hold one. These can give you buffs, mobility, damage, defense. Whatever your character is lacking, equipment's got you covered. Some of them are just busted. Trophy Hunter's Tricon can one-shot a boss but breaks after use. Also gives you a chance to get a unique drop from the boss. Equipment chests are fairly common. So losing this item on use is not that bad. Some of these equipments are, let's say, not that good. Remote Caffeinator delivers a vending machine which does 2000% damage if the enemy is directly below it, which just never happens. Maybe I'll try to spawn it on a boss. As for the vending machine, it sells you heals. Yeah, it doesn't even heal you for free. There is this cactus equipment which heals you instantly for 50% of your HP. Then there is leech which heals you for 20% of your damage. Then there is wood sprite which passively heals every second for 1.5% of your HP and can heal for 10% when activated with a 15-second cooldown. And then there is this vending machine which takes forever to land. Then you have to interact with it and you need money to heal. Now you might be questioning, what's the point of this item? Even an item like this has a belt. You can combine this with fireworks and squid polyp. These two mediocre items combined with this dogshit equipment somehow can out DPS bleed or fire bills. This reminds me of the story where a group of Down syndrome people jumped a massive dude and molested him. Enemies killed by this combo probably have the same feelings. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the most overpowered item in the entire game. An item so good, it single-handedly gives the player, not the character but the alive real-life player, a rage buff. Bustling fungus. This shit heals you when you are AFK. This is a roguelike game. The player needs to constantly move not only to survive but also to progress. How are you supposed to use this item when your screen looks like this? If I was playing Princess Tower from Clash Royale, this would be useful. Oh wait, there is a character who has 2 Princess Towers. Engineer. So it's useful on 1 out of 19 characters. Amazing. These were the synergies between items and characters, but items also have synergies with each other. There is a very popular mechanic in the game known as proc chain. I love this mechanic and his wife. The idea is you pick all the on-hit items that also damage nearby enemies. So when you kill just one enemy, it procs all those items and kills another, and then another. Basically a chain reaction. There is a lot of math behind every attack, because each ability has a value that decides how often it can trigger these effects. This value is known as proc coefficient. But you know, we don't talk about maths on this channel, so I'm just gonna leave it there without explaining it. The important thing is, even if an item says it's gonna trigger 25% of the times, it probably won't. But there are items that guarantee the proc chains. Gasoline ignites all nearby enemies when you kill an enemy. Ignition tank triples your fire damage. Combine these two and everything is burning. Add a ceremonial dagger which spawns these homing knives on each kill. Now you have to kill one enemy and everything is dead. Combine a few more on-hit items and nothing is spawning. Finding attack speed and bleed as a high fire rate character is like finding dead bodies as a jogger. Legendary pull. Crowbar, watches, focus crystal, and chronic expansion. These have a gimmick to them, but they work with every character in the game. Wow, so many combos, drones, and abilities. This game must be really easy, right?
You wrong. You real fucking wrong.
11 tiers of difficulty. There is drizzle, rainstorm, monsoon, and eclipse. Eclipse has additional 8 tiers of difficulty, with each tier adding a difficulty modifier. But it doesn't end here. Beating an eclipse tier doesn't unlock it for every character. For example, if you beat the game on Eclipse 8 with say Huntress, and now you want to play Eclipse 8 with Loader, you have to beat every single Eclipse level up to 8 again with Loader. Additionally, regardless of the difficulty, every run also scales difficulty with time. Honestly, this time scaling difficulty exists in almost every game. As you progress through any game, you become stronger and so do the enemies. It looks way scarier than it actually is. During my early runs, I saw this difficulty meter went to impossible, almost shat my pants, panicked and rushed all the levels, and by stage 5 I had so dogshit damage, every enemy felt like a boss. You want to loot as much as possible as fast as possible, which anyone will do regardless, so I don't get the point of this. What matters more than this scaling difficulty is actually the characters. With some characters, drizzle difficulty feels like Eclipse, and with someone like Railgunner, you can't tell if it's drizzle or Eclipse. This guy has everything. Homing projectiles for short range, a sniper which is just delete button for most enemies in the game, including elites, and a special ability which is delete button for bosses. Plus, he has mobility too. It's clunky, but some characters don't even have one. I'm breezing through these eclipses, like how Chinese skin investors breeze through floors when they jump from the building and kill themselves. I could have rephrased it better, but anyway. I'm actually trying to nerf him by swapping his sniper with the worst version of it. But then attack speed becomes viable on him. This character, bro. Someone delete him. There are a few more powerful characters in the game, but if you can aim, I don't think there is a better one. You don't even have to aim because the hitbox on his sniper is so humongous. It puts your sister to shame. It genuinely takes skill to miss these shots. This is the guy your girlfriend tells you not to worry about, or about his huge sniper. The only downside Railgunner has is that he is tiring to play. My average run lasts about an hour, and with Railgunner it's constantly quickscoping and flicking with the sniper. Couple of runs with this guy and your whole arm hurts. What? Railgunner is a she? Now that explains the bakery. How come I haven't seen any fan art of her? I gotta research more on this peculiar topic. Enemies in this game aren't just bullet sponges. Okay, some of them are. I get it, a lot of them are. Damn. But their strength comes from their sheer number, and every single one of them work differently. To counter some of them, you need to learn their behavior. For example, if an enemy is corrupted by a void infestor, yeah, I'm gonna say corrupted and not void touched monster, you need to first kill the enemy, and then the infestor will try to run away, and you have to kill it before it latches onto another. Otherwise, it will keep corrupting enemies, and corrupted enemies are as strong as elites, if not more than them. Imps teleport like an anime character. Scorch worms are always looking for an opening beneath you.
Can't make it, the shit's stuck.
And then there are elites. I feel like there are more elite types than the normal ones. Blazing elites blaze you. Glacial enemies glaze you with ice. Green elites heal other enemies. Overloaded enemies have shields which regenerates every 7 seconds. Malachite enemies disable healing. Celestine elites make other enemies invisible. Golden elites have golden cog. Twisted enemies have twisted cog. I have read this description about 5 times and I still don't understand what they do. And I think I'm not alone. There is a 8-minute video discussing this enemy type, and then there is another 17-minute video on it. All I know is that they are very tanky and are very rare too. I find overloaded, gilded and twisted enemies to be very annoying because sometimes the game sees a tanky enemy and goes, you know what that guy needs? Armor and a golden cog, and they just won't die. Even more annoying are these blind pests. In this game you can't look directly above you, and all these enemies are designed to fly directly above you. And who thought it would be a great idea to name an enemy Child? Hey bro, can you kill that enemy over there? Of course bro. Let me use my super massive leech before I absolutely obliterate that child. Not every enemy is insufferable though. Some enemies you want to see in your runs. Hear me out guys. Scavenger. Not everybody is a fan of him because just like the player, this enemy can pick up items and use them against you. They are also very tanky and very slow. Now the good part is when they die, they drop their bag, which gives you 10 items. That's a stage worth of items from one enemy. As long as you keep the distance, you should be fine. There is also an elite version of it, which is a secret boss, and defeating him gives you lunar coins. Not worth it in my opinion. Technically, there are 4 game modes in the game. Classic, which I have been talking about all this time. Eclipse, classic with harder difficulty. Prismatic Trial, classic with extra steps but only 2 stages. These 3 are like a trans, a gay and a femboy. Same, but different.
But still same.
And finally, Simulacrum. This is the only game mode which is different enough to talk about. It's an infinitely scaling wave-based game mode. You are inside a 60-meter bubble which protects you from the void fog. The maps are the same as classic maps, but they are filled with void fog which deals damage. Inside the bubble, waves of enemies spawn. Upon defeating those enemies, the game gives you a random item. If you are taking too long to kill enemies, the bubble shrinks, damaging you and all the remaining enemies. Chest spawn rate is same as the classic, so you can go outside the bubble and open chests, but you are restricted by the constant damage. Every 5th wave is a boss wave. Doesn't necessarily means that a boss will spawn. It may or may not, but it will have way more enemies and elites. After you defeat the boss wave, the zone moves to the next location. This game mode completely changes how you view each character. Some of the strongest ones turn mediocre, while a few average ones excel. Railgunner falls hard on this one. If not, your wrist will definitely fall off. Since you are always surrounded by the enemies and they are always in your face, aiming with the sniper is really hard, while close range characters like Captain, Chef, and Bandit become really good. Mobility is not needed but appreciated. Engineer becomes the best character in the game. The two downside Engineer has is lack of mobility and you need to reposition turrets. But both of these things don't matter in Simulacrum. With Engineer, you can actually play environment versus environment. Amazing character design. Love it. Some mediocre items also become really good. For example, War Banner. In classic mode, you are constantly moving, so this item is only useful during teleporter boss fight, and even then you need to level up to get it. But in Simulacrum, you are constantly leveling up and you don't have to move as much. I feel like this game mode is for casual players. Trying to get a build is easier in this one because you get to choose between 3 random items. Every time you clear a wave, you get more items and you can become powerful really early. That's literally everything that this game has to offer. It's the perfect game to get into roguelike genre. It is one of those games where you just jump right into the action. No cutscene, no dialogues, and the lore is mostly outside the game. It's easy to get into, but hard to master. It has so much content, especially now with the DLCs, tons of characters and items to unlock. It's better with friends if you have any. And now with the new update, you can throw them off the map. I really want to do it, but I don't think I'll be able to convince them to play this game. Maybe I should share this video to them. I keep coming back to this game even though I play alone, which is very rare for me. I wonder what's next in the series. Will they add more survivors or is it time for Risk of Rain 3? Anyway, I ran out of things to say. So have a nice day and goodbye.